It's been 5 days now. I'd did do, Dorchia. After returning from a trip, sitting at the mall shooting animals at Nong Ta Wan. In the late afternoon of this day, in front of a small house in the middle of a bamboo forest. Monsieur. Meanwhile, Phran Klaew was sweeping up leaves. It's in the backyard.
Phran Klaew, girl baked. Is anyone home?
No. A voice called from Phran Kong, who was standing in front of the house. Phran Klaew, who is sweeping leaves behind the house. So he walked out to the front of the house. He looked to see who was coming and calling out to him. Compete with the sound of a dog in front of the house.
Oh, I thought. Who? Where? Kong. And Thod. Is thou it? Is there anything? Let's sit and talk and drink water at the table first.
Phran Klaew asked, ready to invite both of them to sit at the table in front of the house.
I will come and invite Phran Klaew to go into the forest to go hunting at Huainongdu together. I have heard that there are many wild animals. Come down to drink water at Huainongdu.
Phran Kong said, getting to the point, ready to tell everything he had heard. Let Phran Klaew listen. Phran Klaew listened and said,
No one wants to go into that forest. Is it good or not? The forest is fierce, the forest ghost, the nymph is strong.
Well, like this, I'm here to invite you because, you thought, he came to invite me. In the morning, So I said, let's invite you to go with us. If you go, I will go too. Because of my magic that I have, it's just enough to survive. It's not as magical as yours.
Phran Kong, tell Phran Klaew when du Trisha is here, bitte hier, ready to turn and look. Phran thought.
Okay. Then tonight I will review the magic spell. Tomorrow morning we prepare to go into the forest. The two of you help each other. Prepare liquor, tobacco, boiled chicken, areca nut, betel leaves. As for me, I will prepare steamed rice, food and dessert myself.
In Phran Klaew, tell two Phran friends, und sie let, help, prepare, things for, offering. Pay respects, Lord of the forest, Lord of the mountains. Phran Kong, Phran thought, when talking with Phran Klaew, when he understood, both of them excused themselves to go home. Go check the gun, check the bullets, get ready before going into the forest tomorrow. Before dawn of the next day, the three hunters, Phran Klaew, Phran Kong, and Phran Thod, all set off, heading towards Huainongdu.
The gestures I have heard are true. Look at these footprints. Deer footprints. Wild boar footprints. Wild buffalo footprints. There are also tiger footprints.
Phran Thod spoke up, ready to slow down the walk. When you see the footprints of a tiger mixed with the footprints of other animals.
Yeah, I'm sus. Hurry and walk a little. Walk a little more. We will make a location. Pay respect to the forest god, the mountain god, the forest ghost, the forest ghost.
Phran Klaew's voice invites two fellow hunters to go on a journey. The three hunters walked near the edge of Huainongdu, so he found a suitable location under a large tree. Phran Klaew's give to two Phran friends looking for bamboo to make a shop, not big or small. to place the prepared offerings. The sounds of birds, the sounds of wild animals, all silent, when Phran Klaew began the ceremony, asking for forgiveness from the forest gods, the mountain gods, the angels, the nymphs, the creek gods, the swamp gods, the canal gods, the swamp gods, asking for permission to hunt animals. Please, Lord of the Forest, send the beast, uns dick. Unruly wild animals come to them, to be used as food to feed the family. Itchu, ask the god of the forest guardian angels, help protect from danger. That will happen to all three of them. The three hunters sat together and raised their hands together in worship. The sound of cicada insects, the sound of wild birds, the sound of minor insects, starting to come back and make noises again. When Phran Klaew completed the ceremony, the three walked deeper until they reached the edge of Nongdu Creek. So help each other find trees to use for scrubbing the mall and looking at animals. By the time we found the tree, it was late afternoon.
Today I have to polish the mall to a height of about 8 meters to 9 meters Phran Klaew. We'll be safe from tigers and wild elephants.
Phran Klaew said to the two hunters. The hunter knows this very well. Animal viewing mall that they tied. Very big. By the time the polishing was finished, the time was getting cold, close to dusk.
We ate dinner right away. At 6:01 p.m., it was very close to dusk. After eating Phran Klaew, Phran thought, let's go up to the mall first.
Phran Klaew told two Phran.
What else are you going to do?
Phran Klaew asked. Phran Klaew.
I will cast a protection spell to keep away ghosts and spirits.
Shin. Phran Klaew. Answer. Questions from Phran Klaew. Briefly. First, they all sat together in a circle and ate dinner. After finishing eating dinner, Phran Klaew and Phran thought climb up to the mall. Phran Klaew, he sat with his hands raised in worship and cast a powerful spell for protection from danger. When he finished, he climbed up and followed him up. After coming up to sit at the mall, from early evening until now, it was probably past 8 p.m. It's almost 9 p.m. Soon the moon will rise. There was not a single wild animal passing by that could be seen. A cool breeze blew, accompanied by the sound of barking, howling from the wolf. The sound, hearing it, made Phran thought, feel the hairs all over his body stand on end. It's like the temperature around the body has dropped. The sound of bats flying in the air. The sound of marmot crying in the hollow of a tree. It's like the sound of people crying and howling. Mixed with the sound of a gecko, listening to shear, it makes the hair, and the hairs on arms stand up. The light from the moon appears above the tops of the trees. It gives off a faint glow to the forest. Look at the ground below. Can't see clearly. Phran Klaew and Phran Klaew are still sitting and waiting to shoot animals. Phran thought sits with his back against a tree. Been asleep for a long time. But then Phran thought had to wake up. as soon as the sound of cicada insects, the sound of night insects quieted down.
Look over there, the dark shadow in the treetops, the tree on the opposite side, and that thing had a body size of a house dog. It clings to the fork of a tree branch.
Phran Klaew whispered to Phran Klaew, and Phran thought, in a soft voice,
Ghost lemurs.
Phran Klaew, he looked at, he answered Phran Klaew gently.
Oh, what kind of ghost is it? Ghost lemurs.
Phran thought whispered and asked Phran Klaew and Phran Klaew. Phran Klaew then replied softly and said,
Old people say that this kind of ghost is a very old langur. It comes out to find food at night. It is different from other lemurs. Langur will eat fruit as food, but the ghost lemurs looks for sucks. Blood from sleeping wild animals eats the blood as food. Ghost lemurs looks for sucks. Blood from sleeping wild animals eats the blood as food. Tea will secretly come and suck blood. People who enter the forest. Then he slept in the forest. Some hunters had their blood sucked until they died. There were many ghost lemurs. If it is very hungry, it will attack immediately, without waiting for the victim to sleep.
Phran Klaew finished speaking. Ghost lemurs made a sound and screamed. Small, sharp voice, it makes you feel like your ears are burning. It was nerve-wracking and almost unbearable. The shape of the Pong Langur ghost. The hair is thick and black, long, shaggy. The arms, the legs, long. It has red eyes, the size of a duck's egg. It threatens, roars, it bares its fangs. It shakes the branches until it makes a loud noise. It leaps on the tree, from that tree to this tree, from this tree to that tree, switch back and forth, showing symptoms. It will attack. It hopes to come in. Harm. It hopes to come into suck blood. But it can't. It can't come. No. To the tree where Sam Phran, Scrub, Maul can sit, stay. Ghost lemurs can touch it. To the area, magic mantra. Co-fet 7 floors at. Phran Klaew can alarm cast a spell to be an island sheltering ghost lemurs. It jumped down to the ground. Ghost lemurs. It looked up. The mall seat. It and ghost lemurs. It uses 2 legs. Walk, come at the base of the tree. When feet of it, and it step on sand, magic. At Phran Klaew got sewn around, and all over the area. Under the tree would, well, must be shocked. In sends sound screams. It uses both hands on to hold feet beside where step on sand bewitched. Ulti falling, rolling, falling, head prick. Phran Klaw's senses are as sensitive as thought. Phran Klaew moved, raised his gun, then aimed the tip of the gun down at the black figure that is on the ground below. Phran Klaew, reach out and hold the gun. Phran Klaew, ready to speak, tell. Phran Klaew said softly.
Ghost langur. Normal bullet. Can't do anything. You have to. Use only bullets, guns, magic. To chase it. And the sound of a gun, it will destroy the forest. Wait, no wild animals. Will pass. In tonight. If you use a gun to shoot. I'll just take care of it myself.
Phran Klaew finished speaking. He reached in and picked up something from his bag. Then recite and chant the strong magic mantra. Before blowing air that has a magical spell going down, put the thing that is in his hand before he would hold out his hand.
Go to the magic wasp, my son. Go chase. Chase that thing for father. Chase it away.
Phran Klaew, speak and order the thing in hand before he would hold out his hand. Phran Kong sits and looks at what is in his hand. Phran Klaew. He looked at it with suspicion. What is that thing? Even though there was light and a glimmer of light, but he could see that thing was definitely a leaf, the thing in hand Phran Klaew. But tamarind leaves in the hands of the Phran Klaew. Now it is moving, transformed into a small living creature. There was a faint red glow on the body.
It moved up and flew up. Then they flew together, heading towards the ghost langurs, who was walking towards the base of the tree. The langur ghost. It is climbing up, sitting perched on the branch of the treetop.
A voice speaking from Phran Kong, who mused softly. Before herd of magic wasps will fly to the top of the tree. Suddenly, the atmosphere, the surrounding area has changed. Sound, thunder, there was a light, flashing. The sky is cloudy and looks like it's about to rain. The wind was blowing and waving.
The rain. That is pretending to fall here. It must be caused by the power of that ghost langur. It is showing the power, the prestige of the ghost langur. It will definitely attack us.
Phran Klaew, speak softly, ready to recite magic spells. That is strong and magical again, to add power to the magic wasp.
The cry of the ghost langur. A small, long, high-pitched scream, with the sound of a loud roar, located in every direction around the tree, where we all sit everywhere. Okay, how many ghost langurs are there? Definitely. Pekong? The sound, it was loud, going around like this. Now loud, from the top of that tree. Now loud, from the top of that tree.
The voice of Phran thought, whispered and asked Phran Kong after he woke up. When there was a strong wind and the sky began to change.
Reaching all those sounds come from its magical power. In fact, there is only one. Only.
A soft reply from Phran Kong. But then there was movement at the top of the tree. The tops of the trees began to shake, with a small, high-pitched cry. A loud cry from the top of that tree. Sometimes the sound came from this tree. It went around and around for a long time. Then the cries of the ghost langurs sounded far away, farther, farther, until the sound is gone. When the ghost langur ran away, the atmosphere began to return to normal. Sounds of thunder, lightning, cloudy weather. It disappeared completely. The atmosphere returned to normal.
Luckily, it's just a ghost langur. Ordinary. If this thing were to become evil, I don't know if my magic wasp would be able to defeat it. This place might be his place. We might come, Tide, the animal watching Maul. In its territory, yes. So it entered. greet. So he came to say hello. Come back, magic wasp, my son. That enough. Come back, my son, come back.
Phran Klaew finished speaking, ready to call out the magic wasp's voice. A soft voice came from Phran Klaew's mouth. When the cries of the ghost languors fell silent, disappeared. A small red light, like the light from a firefly, floating near with a loud buzzing sound. Closer. It was loud around the area, Phran Klaew. So he stretched out his hand, hands out, and receives. When those magical wasps flew down into hand, Phran Klaew transformed into a tamarind leaf like before.
This ghost languor is probably a normal ghost languor. It's easy to subdue it. If it had more power than this, I think we would be tired. Much more than this.
Whoa. The voice of Phran Klaew spoke up. When Phran Klaew drives out the ghost languors, soon the noise of night insects began to return, making noises. 1 a.m. The atmosphere has changed. Night insects have quieted down again. The sound of heavy things falling and hitting the ground, loud thumping, nearing, along with the sound of koi, coming from time to time. Phran thawed. Startled, he woke up and opened his eyes. He came up again. Frightened, he grabbed his gun and held it ready.
That voice, what kind of sound is this? It's a wild animal or a forest ghost. What kind?
The voice, Phran thought, asking. To Senior Phran. The tone is alarmed, mixed with doubt. Phran thought, sitting and looking at the owner of the voice, who appeared from behind a tree. It was shaped like a monkey, like a person. It jumped in. The eyes are red. They are large and bulging. There is no nose bridge. There are only 2 holes showing that they are nose holes. No upper lip, just a row of teeth. Around the mouth. Has fangs. 2 long, pointed ones. At the corners of the mouth. The stomach is large, like a person, is tan, steel. Long arms, almost reaching the ground. Has long pointed nails. That's strange. Invite to wonder. Be puzzled. It's strange. It has legs that look like they have only one. It's in the middle of its body. But why does it jump? It's so agile. Wrong with its shape. It makes a sound and cries. Koi, koi. Sound, eerie, howling, on the ground, below.
Da lives together in groups. It likes to hunt fish to eat, along creeks, swamps, canals, and swamps. Sometimes they eat animals that have just died, if they come across them, or they follow the smell of blood. Come.
The voice of Phran Kong, that whispered, tell, Phran thought. To be able to be aware of what is seen below.
Don't pay attention to the Concoy ghosts. That's what saw. They just came. Soon, they took each other away. We sit on a high place. Like this, it can't do anything. We can't do it. Even though there are a lot of them coming.
Beer. Phran Klaew. Tell. Phran Kong. Phran thought. Voice. Listen and understand. Feeling of worry. Of Phran Klaew. Phran Klaew. Phran Kong. Phran thought. Sat and watched the group of Phai Kong Koi. They went together, heading towards the Nong, Du Creek, without paying attention. 3 Phran sitting on a tree. Even though there are some, look up at the tree. It was like he knew there were 3 hunters sitting there.
The Concoy ghosts have long since departed, but the atmosphere of the forest. Why are you still asleep? Pekong? If you're a ghost, Concoy, those. They come in to cause trouble. They come to attack us. Klaew, will you be able to fight them?
Phran Klaew asked the senior hunter. When he saw that the atmosphere was now, the forest was still quiet. There was no sign of the sound of any wild animals. There is no sound of insects inside. There is no frog sound. There is no screeching sound. There was not even a breeze. Everything now stood still, quiet-like, lone and sitting in the cemetery.
Aki. Luckily, the wild animals haven't come in yet. If we can shoot animals, we will probably fight with these Concoy ghosts for sure. If we have to fight, I don't know yet. Will my magic and Phran Klaew be able to chase them away? I don't know.
Phran Klaew after. Speaking, he turned to look. Phran Klaew. The seats are quiet. Face and eyes look at the ground below. Until the time passed until 3 a.m. The forest has returned to normal. The wind began to blow softly. The sound of night insects. Many types make loud noises. At 4 a.m., the night insects were quiet again. It was a sign that something was going on, like coming in. Suddenly, there was a sound. Loud buildings coming in. Phran Klaew listened until he was sure. That was the sound of walking, of an animal with hooves. Phran Klaew, grab the flashlight, assemble it with the gun canopy. When the sound came close to the distance of the tree where Phran Klaew was sitting. Phran Klaew, then turn on the flashlight. Start from the middle of the tree trunk. Shine down to the ground. Flashlight light hits the eyes. Red-green light, big and small, reflect back. Phran Klaew. The index finger was about to wiggle the trigger. Then it relaxed. When he saw that it was a mother deer with a young child, Phran Klaew therefore lowered his gun. Because ever since he was a hunter and hunted animals, he had never shot an animal, a mother and a young child, or any animal that he could see was probably pregnant. And that mother and child deer. Once the confusion disappeared from the bright light, so he ran, making a loud noise, to the swamp basin. It's almost 5 a.m., Phran Klaew sits with his mouth open and yawning, when start to feel sleepy. But then his ears heard the sound of the heavy walking of hoofed animals, loud and crunching, coming in. Phran Klaew, pick up the gun and place it against the hidden railing. Waited a moment, when I heard a loud chewing sound coming from the base of the maca tree. Phran Klaew, turn on the light. The light is bright. It hits the eyes glowing green. Phran Klaew, aim the gun at the point between the front legs, directly to the red armpit, then pull the trigger, confidently. End. The sound of a gun. That was loud. That red cow jumped all the way up, staggered. It crashed into a nearby tree. Not in time to shoot again. It leapt and disappeared. Go into the forest. Phran Klaew was startled and woke up at the same time.
Red Bull, it, leapt. It stood silently, behind 3 trees. Those 4 trees. They'll probably fall. I'll shoot them again. There's no room to shoot. The trees are blocking them.
Is Phran Klaew. Speak softly when talking for a moment. Phran Klaew, then asked to lie down and rest. Then Phran Klaew leaned back against a tree and fell asleep. Phran Kong and Phran Thod continued to watch over him until Digdo. Morning. When the light began to appear, Phran Klaew woke up, saw Phran Kong, Phran Thod, had finished cooking rice, and sat downstairs waiting for him. So he climbed down to join, with both people. Before the three people walked together to see the red cow's body, Thea's behind the tree. After eating breakfast, the three of them helped each other to butcher the red cow. Then together they headed back home,